Welcome to your partner workout. Now for this session, you need the following equipment: a resistance band, a medicine ball, a mat, and not surprisingly, a partner. Now, you need to warm up actively for about 5 minutes before you start working out, and we've got 3 warm-ups for you on this DVD. My advice, best approach, is to mix and match them. Now remember, the aims of the warm-up are to reduce the risk of injury, but also to help you to get the most from your workout. Now this is achieved via progressive mobilizing exercises that raise your core body temperature, ventilation rate, and blood flow while simultaneously reducing muscle and joint viscosity. Now, you've got a choice here. The way we're going to do the workout today is to have one partner do all the exercises, and then you can flip it back, start again, and the other partner can do the whole exercise. Or perhaps when you get a little more familiar with the exercises, you can chop and change using the pause button, each partner doing each exercise before you move on. So, talking of partners, why don't I get my guys in now? Ready for our first exercise. We're going to work first of all through the glutes, the legs, little butt and legs exercises, and we're going to start with the single leg press. Okay, so we're going to take this position on the step, and you'll notice what I've done here is to set the step on an incline, okay? An incline step. You can do this on the floor, but this gives you a slightly better angle. Now, remember in the warm-up we talked about our communication. We have to really talk to each other here. James has put a towel here to protect himself on this position, but also you'll notice he's got one leg forwards. Now, what Jackie's going to do is slowly lower the knee down to the chest and then press. Fabulous. Now, we can assess the resistance here. We need to communicate, decide if we've got enough weight. We're aiming for 12 repetitions. As James moves his foot further back, we're now going to get a little more resistance, and we're going to go for our 12 repetitions. Okay? So, slow is better. What we're thinking about here is the time under tension, the TUT principle. The longer we keep the muscle fibers working, the better the results we're going to get. Keep it under control. The great thing about this exercise is that not only are we working front of the thigh, back of the thigh, and into the butt, but what we're also doing here is, because we're working with a real partner, not a dead weight on a machine, we're now having to balance this weight. So now there's a little bit of this going on, which puts a little bit more work around the hip joint. We've got a lot of smaller muscles, the obturators, the piriformis, smaller muscles that are working there. Brilliant. 12 on each side. Shall we swap legs? I'm trusting you to be doing 12. I'm not counting. Beautiful. How are we doing at home? You're looking for 12 repetitions on each leg, nice and slow. Again, it's about trust. Remember, you've got to let the person doing the exercise take control of the situation. Let's make sure we're getting a really good squeeze in the front of the thigh, the back of the thigh, into the glutes. One thing to be careful of, let's make sure we're not unduly arching the lower spine. We're keeping just that natural curve on the spine. Excellent. How are we doing?
10.
I believe you. Beautiful. Great work. I'll take that towel. Fabulous. We're moving on. Now, this next exercise, if you can stand yourself up, this next exercise is the single leg squat. There was some research at San Diego University that established this as being the best exercise you can do for your glutes. Okay, so what we're going to do here is James is just acting to provide balance. What we're doing here is taking one leg off the floor. Now, the beauty of having somebody to help you with the balance is we can get a much greater range of motion. Without the extra balance, you wouldn't be able to do this. So can I get my 12 single leg squats, please? Excellent stuff. Now, you'll notice that James has got to do a little bit of work here in providing the balance. You might want to split your feet, maybe have a split stance. Gives you a little bit more balance. Fabulous. So what we're looking to do here, keep the heel pressed down into the floor. We're sitting down and backwards. Now, you just wouldn't be able to get down into this position without the addition of the partner support there. Really getting down. Be careful that we don't get any twisting through the knee. We don't want that torque through the knee. Swapping over. And we're working to what we call our full comfortable range of motion. If you have any history of pathology with the knee, then you only go as low as is comfortable for you. Excellent. Keeping the abs in tight and also chest lifted, head lifted. Let's not scrunch down on that exercise, yeah? Make sure we're keeping up nice and straight. Excellent work. Can we feel that in the thighs? Yay. Beautiful. Okay, so we're moving on now. We've done a little bit of work for the thighs. You're on the edge there for our calf raises. James, if I can get you around to this side, please. A little bit of work for the lower leg now. So for the calf raise, again, we're going to go single leg. So remember, you're doing 12 on each side. And what we're looking for here, again, as much range of motion as you can get. Beauty of this exercise, again, is that just by having the extra support, it'll allow you to get a little bit further in that range of motion. Really working down here into the gastrocnemius, the soleus, the muscles in the calf. Now, the great thing about this is it's also helping to build strength. Remember, our resistance training helps to build strength in the connective tissues as well. So we're talking about the ligaments and the tendons, particularly in this one, the Achilles tendon. So for those sports people, particularly those doing explosive type events, it's important that we build the strength through here because this can take a lot of strain. Super. If you're not involved in sport, you can just look forward to fantastically shapely lower legs. Brilliant. Well done. Great exercise. We're moving on now. A little bit of resistance we're going to introduce now. We're moving on to the front lunge. So if I can have you that side, please, James, and you're facing this way for me, please. We're going to wrap the resistance band around the waist. Now, these resistance bands, if you don't have one, you can get a hold of them from decent sports retailers. Fairly cheap piece of kit, but you can do an awful lot of stuff with it, as you'll see. So what we're looking for here, can I just move you back slightly? And you're going to have that split position again, James, to give you the balance. All we're looking for here is a forward lunge, a front lunge with a little bit of resistance. We're going to do 12 off one leg and then 12 off the other. Beautiful stuff. Okay, so things to look out for on this. Beautiful position, keeping the abdominals in tight. We're working the core muscles here. Also around the shoulder girdle, keeping those rotator cuff muscles engaged so we get nice posture. Stepping a good long stride length in front, also slightly out to the side to give us that balance and making sure that we lunge down so that we don't get too much forward pressure on the knee here. If that goes forward, puts a lot of pressure under the patella tendon. So what we're looking for here is a stride out and drop down. Fantastic. Getting that work into the front of the thigh, into the back of the thigh, the hamstrings there, and into the glutes. Fabulous stuff. We're going to swap over to the other leg. Be aware as you're swapping from one side to the other, is there any difference in strength from one side? Is there any difference in the range of motion? Hopefully what we'll try to do with regular exercise is balance that out. So again, take a look here, how we see that knee doesn't go shooting past the toe. We don't want that to happen. That can put a lot of strain on the knee. Excellent stuff. How are we doing at home? Hope you're still with us. Good. And you'll see that even though James is just helping on these exercises, he's actually having to do a little bit of work as well. Great stuff. Well done. Ooh. 12. Fabulous. I'll take that resistance band. Thank you very much. Okay, we're going to change things up a little bit here now. We're working with your body weight against gravity. So if I can get you down for me, Jackie, there. And James, if I can have you standing at this end, please. Okay, so this is what we're doing. Sorry, I'm going to flip you the other way around. This really is called a stand-up. You're staying over there. This really is just called a stand-up and touch. It's that simple. And all you're going to do is stand up and touch. Now, I'm going to ask you to, that was fabulous, thank you, to cross your feet as you bring them in and use your arms as well. You're going to stand up and back down again. It's that simple. It's just called the stand-up. Can I get 12 of those, please? Ideally, cross your feet as you bring them in. Use your arms to throw yourself up into that position. You might need a bit of extra momentum. Now, don't worry if you can't get all the way up straight away. You can use one hand and go slightly sideways and use your hands if you wish. We've already been practicing this for hours before this, haven't we? Brilliant. I'm just looking for 12 of these, please. And this is our last exercise for really getting into the hips and thighs. Good. How many? I've lost count. 10. Is it 10? Brilliant. See, this is the beauty of having a partner. They can count for you, although it means you can't cheat. Good work. Excellent. Well done, well done. So we've finished there with our glutes, hamstrings, quadriceps. We're going to move on to the chest, and I'm going back to a similar position that we started. So if I can have you, please, James over there, Jackie down here as before. So our chest press exercise. Same rules apply here. The same rules apply, which are that if James has this foot further forwards, he's taking a little bit more of his weight, so it's less resistance for Jackie. Lower it down and then press. If you were to move that foot just slightly backwards, then can we just confirm that there's a little extra weight there?
Little extra weight.
I'm going to take that as a yes. Okay, so 12 repetitions, please. Let's go. Now, avoid bending at the hip. Just let your weight fall to your partner. We're stretching the arms out to the side, opening through the chest. Get a good stretch on the pectorals and then press. Be careful not to lock out the arms at the end of the exercise. It's straight but not locked. Fabulous. And see how James is keeping his core muscles engaged here so that we've got a nice long position. He's not bending and straightening. We don't want to cheat here. We want the weight to all be taken by Jackie on this exercise. Excellent stuff. Well done, well done, well done. Okay, so if I can just pop you off there and you're down ready for a press-up, please, in your press-up position. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. This is fairly challenging, a fairly challenging exercise. All we're going to do is a wheelbarrow press-up. Now, the reason we're changing our position here is that by changing the different angle, we start to work different muscle fibers in the chest. Okay, so we're into our press-ups. Same rules apply. Look at this position. Fabulous position. Keeping the abdominals in tight, just keeping that natural curve in your lower spine. Don't let the hips drop too low. We're also looking out for that elbow, not locking out, just straightening, but not locking, keeping it safe. Beautiful. The head's tilted forward so we get a nice long neck. And hopefully we're feeling that work through the chest and triceps. Excellent. I'll take that as a yes. Great work for the chest, but also for the triceps, backs of the arms. Okay, so going to change things around slightly now. So if I can have you facing this way for me, please, and you're going to get a hold of both, and you're going to be behind here, James, and get a hold of that. So we're looking for a fly. This is all this is, a standing fly to work the pecs, squeezing together and back out. Again, you need to talk to each other. Yeah, you need to talk to each other to assess the resistance. It's about communication. If it's too easy, then Jackie will tell James and he'll move a little further back and give it a bit more of a pull. It's about talking to each other to get the resistance. So what we're doing here is keeping the elbows slightly bent, squeezing through the pectorals, through the chest, as we bring those arms into the center. Don't forget to keep your breathing constant. Don't hold your breath. The tip is exhale on the exertion. In other words, breathe out on the harder bit. Fabulous. I'll take that from you. And we're going to change things over. You're over here. James, you're down on the floor for me, please. Okay, so we're going for a single arm row. Okay, now, just a tip here. Remember, it's a partner workout. You're partners, so you need to work together. For this to work, James is going to have to help a little bit. Now, look at this position. Don't do anything yet. Nice long lunge position here. What we've got is a nice base that's stable. Yeah, that's what we need to have here. And then when we row, there's a little bit of work in the legs, but mostly it's coming through the upper back. Let's go. Standing row, pull it up and then back down. We're working together because what we don't want to happen is once he comes up, we don't want Jackie to then let him drop back down to the floor. Beautiful. And down. Excellent. So James is doing a little bit of work to assist here. So we're working into this rowing motion, working into particularly the latissimus dorsi, the back of the armpit there. Fabulous. How are we doing? Good. How many is that? 8. Ooh. That sounded like an 8 through gritted teeth then. Although it looks to me like James is doing more of the work. I don't know. Come on. That's good. And also on here, we need to keep the abdominals in really tight. Now, of course, an easier version of this would just be to lift James into that we're swapping legs. I'll move my step for you. An easier version would be to just lift halfway, not all the way up. But you know what? Let's, you didn't lose your balance there, did you? Let's get those knees bent. Fabulous. Well done, well done. And lift. Good. Beautiful. Abs in tight. So we're keeping straight here on this movement. You're allowed to go slightly forwards and backwards. What I don't want is any rotation here. That'll put a lot of strain on the lower back. So keep those abdominals pulled in really tight. Good. You'll feel this in the bicep as well. We're getting through to the arms as well. Ooh. Not sure this is the strong arm. How many is that?
10.
Hope you're feeling this at home too. Beautiful. Well done, well done, well done. Great one. If I can have you standing up, please. Excellent stuff. So this is what we're doing, changing things over. I'm going for a fly. So if I can have you over here, please, James, like so, and get a hold of the handles for me. So again, for this one, I want both of you in that slight lunge position so that we've got good balance, yeah? We're keeping the elbows by the side for this exercise, and all we're doing is rowing, elbows back, yeah? The standing row. Beautiful. And away we go. So it's important that you talk to each other to make sure we've got enough resistance. If not, James is going to give it a little bit of a pull. Let's make it a bit tougher. You didn't look too pleased with that, did you? She didn't really ask for that, but there you go. You get the point. So we can work with our partner. The aim here is to squeeze back, because what we're doing here is working into the upper back. Yeah, we're also working into the latissimus dorsi here, yeah, that forms the back of the armpit. Keep the elbows close by your side as we pull back. Look how nothing else moves on the body when we do that exercise. Beautiful. I'm going to take that and we're going to go back down onto the step. James, you're going to be on the step this time with your head at that end for me, please. And you're over here for me. So we're going for an upright row. Now the upright row exercise is this movement, keeping your elbows close to your side. So what we want, importantly, don't do anything just yet, is an overhand grip here. Yeah, this is an overhand grip. What we're going to do is keep the hands close to the side. What's also important is we get a slight bend on the knees, because what we want to happen is we want to fix this position. The only thing that moves are the arms, and what you need to think about are the elbows going up and out as we do this. Now, again, we're working with a partner. What's also going to happen is James is going to assist by doing a little bit of a sit-up to help on this. So away we go. We're going to lift those elbows up and out. Fabulous. So things to look out for. We're keeping the abdominals pulled in really tight, particularly that transversus across the middle. We're pulling that in really tight. Fabulous. And up. Elbows are up and out. Knees are slightly bent so nothing else moves. James is assisting a little bit. Again, that's about your communication. If they're making it too easy for you, then ask them not to assist. Just lift it up yourself. Is that 12? Brilliant stuff. Okay, we're moving on. We're on to our reverse fly now. So if I can have you over here, and you're just going to be facing that way for me, please. And you're going to get a hold there. Excellent stuff. So we did the fly before for the chest, for the pectorals. So naturally, if we switch around to the back now, we're going to be working the muscles at the back. And particularly here, we're working into the back of the shoulder for this exercise. So again, look at that lunge position so that we're balanced. We don't want to be pulling each other around. Start at chest level and open it out behind. Fabulous. The elbows are slightly bent. This lunge position with the bent knee helps us to fix the lower body, but then you've got to work on your core muscles. Pull in here, lift up here, yeah? Keep that locked on so that nothing else moves, just the arms. And we're really getting into here, particularly the rear deltoid, but then we're getting a little bit of work also into the rhomboids here that squeeze those shoulder blades together. Keep the head nice and tall. Excellent stuff. Hopefully we can feel that working into the back of the shoulder. Well done, guys. I'm going to have you back down in that same position for me, please. So there are your shoulders. We're going to move on now to the arms. We'll start biceps first of all. And this is similar to the upright row that you've just done for your shoulders. But the difference here now is we change from that overhand grip to underhand grip on this one. Now we're on an underhand grip, okay? Things to think about on this exercise. It's a little tough to do this. So we're actually only going to do a half repetition. Yeah, we're going to do a half repetition. Try not to row. Don't let the elbows go backwards. Keep the elbows fixed and think about lifting the palms upwards. Trust me, on this one, you're going to need your partner to help by doing that little bit of a sit-up. Yeah, so the hips stay down, but you're going to do a little bit of a sit-up. So away we go, please. Lifting up and back down. So you see we're only getting half the movement, but we're still getting all the benefit. You can see those biceps working. Again, look how Jackie's got the knees bent to fix the lower body. What that does is take a little bit of strain off the lower back. We don't want you swaying backwards and forwards. Can we see this work into the biceps? Excellent stuff. Looking for 12 repetitions, please. Beautiful. Excellent. How are we doing at home? Hopefully you're still with us. Beautiful. Well done. I'm going to take you off. You're going to flip around this way for me, please, and sit on the end there. So, naturally, having worked the biceps at the front, let's go around and do the triceps at the back. So for this, if I can get you with your hands on his knees, please. Again, you need to work together. Don't do anything just yet. So we can change this position. If we have the feet in close here, it's a little easier, but we're not going to go for that today, are we? So if we stretch the legs out, it's going to make it just slightly tougher. The aim is we're going to bend the elbows, and then we're going to press up. And clearly, there is no doubt we're working into the triceps, which for a lot of us can be a problem area. excellent exercise. The only thing that's moving, make sure we're not doing this. We don't want any hip movements. It's all about the triceps. And James will hopefully vouch for the fact that you've got to do a little bit of work to keep those legs fixed, yeah? So if you're the assisting partner, don't think that means you're not doing anything. There will be a little bit of work going on. Fabulous. Well done, well done, well done. And because the triceps are a problem area, we're going to stick with them. So if I can ask you to take that, please. And James, if you can get a hold of that there. Again, let's get both of you in that slight split lunge position just to make sure we've got a wide base and we're balanced. Elbows start by the side. So we're looking here for a kickback. So literally, we're going to take the arms back behind. So a little press back and lift it up. Beautiful. Did you just move closer to him then to make that less resistance? Did you see that? Fabulous work. There we go. So what we're doing here is getting into those triceps at the back of the arm. But again, look how the body position's fixed. But also, importantly, you'll notice that Jackie's taken a slight forward lean. Yeah? That just enables you to get a little bit more range of motion on that exercise. Yeah? You don't want to be upright. You might end up arching your spine, and we don't really want that to happen. So that's why we've got this slight forward lean. Excellent stuff. Well done, well done. Let me take that. So we're moving on. Let's get rid of the resistance band. We've done our arms. What about we do our abdominals? I reckon that's a pretty good idea. And for this, I'm going to take the medicine ball. So the exercise here is a medicine ball toss. You'll notice that Jackie's assuming this position side on to James. What we're trying to do here is make sure that we're particularly working on the obliques. We're going to get that hourglass figure. So we're particularly working on the waist. So what's going to happen here is the arms are going to stay straight or almost straight. And we're going to have a slight bend in the knee to fix this position. As the ball comes, we take a hold of it. We reach it across and back it goes. Let's try and get all that movement coming through the waist. Can we see what's happening here? I'm looking for 12 repetitions, please. If you're doing this in the lounge, you might want to move out anything that's breakable. Okay, away we go. Now, we're using a medicine ball. That's ideal for this. Although, you know what? It doesn't matter as long as it's something that's got a little bit of weight that you can toss from one person to the other. Great stuff. Making sure it's all coming through the middle here. And look how we've got this fixed lower body, knees bent, stable base. Yeah? Should we flip over? We've got to keep it balanced. We're working both sides. So reach and get a good rotation through the trunk. Yeah? Remember, our lower spine is designed to flex, to extend, to laterally flex, but also to rotate. And that rotation is coming through these oblique muscles. Now, they work contralaterally. What we mean by that is that when we twist to this side, we get the internal obliques, the inside one on this side, and the external on this side. They work together in this way, one side from the other. So you're working both sides at the same time here. Yeah? Fabulous. Shall I take that? Great stuff. We're going to change things slightly. Very similar exercise, only now a little less dynamic and perhaps just a little bit more resistance. So let's stay in the same position. But what I'm going to ask you to do now is take a hold of that, take a hold of the other end. Similar exercise, only now we're going to put a little bit more work into this. Grab a hold of it with both hands, and we're going a little slower as we rotate. So, arms are not quite straight on this. A little bit less movement, but much more focus now. What this will do is not only are we working into the obliques, because this is a little tougher now, we're going to rely on a little bit more work in fixing the position. So, the transversus is going to pull in a little harder. You'll feel a bit more work in the back because what that does is attach to this thoracolumbar fascia at the back. So you're pulling in harder here to keep this fixed because that was a lighter load. We're working with a heavier load now, swapping sides. So the same exercise, we're really targeting these oblique muscles at the side. That's really what we're getting into here. Yeah, and you can see this twist going on. But really now this is working as a little bit harder, so we're needing to brace ourselves more. So there's more pull in here. Always think about pulling tummy button back to the spine. Think about bracing that position. Fabulous. Try and keep your breathing relaxed and constant. But look how important this is. Knees are bent, so the lower body stays fixed. It's all about rotating. The hips will move very slightly, but it's all about rotating above there. Well done, well done, well done. I'll take that from you. Fabulous. So we're heading for the floor. I'm going to move the mat. James, if I can have you over there, please. and down, head that way, feet that way for me, please. So we're doing what's basically a reverse curl exercise. So this is working our rectus abdominis now. So we've done this work at the side. We're going to work into the six-pack there. And we're going to particularly focus on what's usually more of a trouble area is the lower part. Yeah, for a lot of us, it's that bit under the belly button. So this is what we're going to do. Cross the feet over for me, please. That's a great way to keep it balanced. And what we're going to do here is the aim is to lift the knees towards the chest. Just do a straight one for me, straight first of all. And you'll see how we're lifting the hips off the floor and then back down. But you'll notice we're not swinging, yeah? Don't swing the legs. It's all coming from down here. Now, the reason for the hands is to give you a target. What I want you to do is alternate sides so that we lift the knees towards that side and then back down, and then towards this side and back down. Beautiful. Up we go. So aim for those hands. Try and reach. Yeah, the more movement, the better. Excellent. Make sure we're not swinging the legs. So you'll see how Jackie keeps her feet down all the time, heels by the backside. Don't be swinging the legs. Fabulous. Try and keep your breathing relaxed. Think about squeezing here, yeah? And the trick is, can we get the hips up? It's not just legs. We're getting the hips, the backside off the mat. Brilliant. Now, just a word of warning here. We can make that slightly more difficult. Can we try it with the legs extended? So now what we're doing is working with a longer lever. I will tell you that, just lower it down a little bit. This is an advanced exercise because for a lot of people, what will happen is, and you're in that position, it'll start to arch the lower spine. So this is really once you get a little more advanced. Just do a couple for me. Up. Beautiful. And now you can see we're working with longer levers. Yeah? So there's something for you to aim at. Brilliant. You're making that look really easy. Well done. And take a little rest there. Fabulous. Okay, so you've got something to aim for there. Okay, what we're going to do, if I can have you this side, you can stay in that position for me. We're doing what we call a hip hitch. You may have seen the side plank position. So we're resting on the elbow. Just one thing to be aware of. When we're resting in this position, keep a good distance from the elbow to the ear. Don't let this sink down, yeah? Keep a good distance from the elbow to the ear. So we're lifting up. Although we've got a nice long body line, there's a slight bend in the knee. And what we're looking for here is just dropping the hips down and lifting them back up. We're really getting into these muscles around the waist. Trust me, you'll have an hourglass figure by the end of this. Okay. Also, what we're looking for here is making sure we're not twisting. We're staying on that long line. You'll see how Jackie's hips, chest, shoulders are staying square to you all the way through. Brilliant. Can we flip it over to the other side? Well done, well done. And again, with these movements, slow is better. Make sure you can really feel what's going on. Good. Lift. Excellent. Beautiful. No twisting. There's that slight bend in the knees just to make it comfortable. Excellent. Keeping the breathing constant. Really focus on all that movement coming from here. Keep that distance from your ear to your shoulder. Don't let it sink down. Well done, and you guys take a rest. So that's it. That's your partner workout. But remember, I gave you the choice at the top. So if you've just had one partner work all the way through, it's time to flip over, and the second partner, it's your turn to do some work. If, however, you've been pressing the pause button and you've both had a go at each exercise, then you're ready for your cool down, which is absolutely vital. Remember, we've given you 3 cool downs on this DVD to choose from. We're going to have a go at a partner one. Maybe you can join us.